Okay, so you signed in. Great. You also signed in the cloud, Chetan. Open a new tab, cloud.ibm.com. So you just registered, right? Chetan, you just registered, right? Chetan, can you hear me? I'm not able to hear you if you're talking.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, your screen is visible, Chetan. Just click on maybe later. Uh, um, is this the first time you're creating an account?
Yes, sir. This is the first time I'm creating the account.
Okay. Try closing this, crossing this window. Just try.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Okay, it just logged you out. Okay, go back to the academic initiative. Go to the cloud tab. From the topics, go to the cloud tab. On the top, there is topics, no? Topics. Click on IBM Cloud. Scroll down. In the software tab, go to the software tab. Click on feature code. Yeah, there is an arrow there. Say request feature code. Okay, just do it again. Click on that again. Try a couple of times, please. Maybe the site is actually undergoing some changes. Can you just try it a few more times? I don't know what's the problem. Or is it? Oh, it's still not coming. I think the site is going through some updation, guys. Can you again see that feature code thing? What happened? It's not generating, guys?
It is not generating, sir.
Okay, maybe then the site is down. We'll have to maybe do it later on. You can do it later on, but that what I'm trying to explain to you is just share again. Okay, let me share my screen then. Leave it. Ma'am, you can make me the presenter so that I can share it. Maybe you can come back tomorrow and then you can do it again. So okay, let me share my screen. Okay.
Done, sir.
Sure, ma'am. So what you can actually do is once you do that thing, generate the feature code from there, you can come to this account section, and this is, when you go to the account settings, this is where you can actually apply the code, right? And then you can, get what I was talking to you about. So maybe not now, but then you can come back later and you can again do it. Okay, so let's go further and let's try to, complete what we were intending to do. So once you do that, you will have access to all the services that I talked about. So I'm going back to my catalog. By the way, anybody on this call, who has been able to apply the feature code between yesterday and today? If there is anybody, you can put a yes or a no over here. Anybody who has been able to generate the feature code and put it in the cloud account? I'm waiting for any response on chat. If there is anybody, just need one yes. I can share that screen. Nobody was able to do it? Okay, okay. I see a lot of no's, guys. Don't worry, we'll do it for you. So we'll try doing it. If not now, then we again do it. Don't. Okay, Nandini, you are able to do it, right? Can you share your screen, Nandini, with us so that others can? What you were not able to do? You said a yes and then a no, so I'm not able to understand. Okay. Okay, till she comes back. So I was here basically. You don't know how to create. Okay, fine, no issues. So this is how you create it, and this is where you paste it after you generate it from the Academic Initiative platform. Okay. Now, once you do it, what you can always come back and you can do it later on. Doesn't matter. So Watson Assistant is a service which basically helps you creating chatbots, right? Similarly, Watson Studio. This is one that I'm going to show you today. This is like a machine learning service which helps you create those models, machine learning models, have the multiple tools under its hood. I'll show that to you. And then there are so many other services like language translator, natural language understanding, natural language, open pages with Watson, speech to text, text to speech, Watson discovery service, tone analyzer service, knowledge catalog, Watson is open scale. We talked about it when I was trying to present to you. So multiple services over here, right? Just for the sake of brevity, I'll just focus on one of these today, Watson Studio. Okay. Now, what you would do is once you are able to get access to the cloud, you can create an instance of this service. You don't have anything to do. It is automatically doing. See, this is a light plan. It is absolutely free. It is also mentioning that you simply have to name a service. By default, the name is Watson Studio -U9. You can change the name whatever you want to and leave everything else like that only. Please ensure that you are selecting a light plan over here. Okay. Now, in my case, I'm already having multiple instances of this service, so it's not allowing me to create any new service. Doesn't matter. I simply have to click on I've read the terms and conditions and create. That's what you have to do. Once you do that, you will see the service like this, right? So my service name is Watson Studio -DX. Okay. And this is what you will see when this service actually spins up for you. Got the point? So you can launch the console from here. So I've clicked it already. There is a window open for me over here, right? So I'll simply go to home in order to show you how it looks like, right? So once the service instantiates and you open the service, this is how the service will look like. So as I said earlier, this is basically IBM Cloud Pack for Data. It's utilizing the IBM Cloud Pack for Data and a few more services. We'll see that, right? To get it started, let's say I want to create a basic project, very basic project, right? So it's asking me whether you want to create an empty project or you want to create a project from some, already sample or something else. So I say, I want to create an empty project, right? So it's asking me for the name. Let me say KL University, right? Now see here, in my case, it is already using a storage or object storage service here. When you would be doing it for the first time, this service will not be existing for you there, right? So it will also ask you to create a service. So it will you just have to click here. It will open up in a new tab, and it will open up a storage service for you. Now, why is this service needed? Because the data set that you are looking to bring in for analysis, that has to be stored somewhere, isn't it? So this object storage is basically for that data that you are going to store on the cloud, right? And then you can also have multiple people collaborate on this project that you are going to develop, right? So once you have created the service, just refresh this. The service will get associated to this project, and you simply say create, right? Please feel free to put your questions on chat, right, in case you have any questions about whatever I am presenting right now to you. Okay. Okay, see this, the project has got created for me. Okay, now what next? Now see here, if you see here, add to project, right? There is this button, right? The moment you click to this, you will find various types of assets which are available, which I can add to my project, right? So I can add a data. Typically, data is not nothing but the file that you want to upload, that file that you want to, sort of access. That is something that you can do, right? And you can, add a data connection over there, right? Also, you basically can also do is you can, add an auto A experiment, which is what we are going to do today, right? And then it basically talks about, right, uh, what is this? The dashboard, right? So you can create a dashboard without actually, you writing any code for that, right? And you can actually create a model from a file, right? It can create modular flows for you, so all of that is typically available, which you can leverage from here, right? So the best part is this, that it can accept data in multiple formats, right? CSV, or you can connect DB2 databases or a Microsoft SQL Server databases, MySQL, Netezza. All of these databases can be connected over here, right? And you can actually connect up to you know what 20 files into this. We'll just see that, right? So that means almost up to 20 GB of data can be utilized for this, right? So this service is really helpful in terms of getting multiple things done. Similarly, if you want to create a federated learning experiment, right, you can do that. If you want to create a optimization experiment, you can do even that, which uses a Cplex engine underneath. You can also run a deep learning experiment from here, right? So all of these can be done from here. Let's quickly try to get started saying that I want to take from a auto AI, I want to add an auto AI experiment here, right? So it's asking what is the name of the experiment that you want to do. So let me say I'll say BNFS, right? So I'm gonna use a use case from a banking and financial domain, right? Now see this, all of these is optional. Okay, it is telling me that there is no machine learning service associated, right? Please associate a service. Now in my case, I already have a couple of machine learning services already running on my cloud. So I'll simply go and I'll associate one of my machine learning service to this, right? In your case, again, it will open up for a new window like this, and you can create a new service. See this new service, you can create a new service over here. In my case, I'm already having a multiple services running over here. I will just pick one of these services. So let me say I would like to use PM20, which is already there, right? And I will say associate this service. Okay. I'll go back to my okay. I'll go back to this tab, and I will just click on reload. See, it's got associated with this experiment. See, PM20. Now, what is this? This is basically the Watson machine learning service, which the auto AI is using underneath under the hood, right? See the other part. It has automatically allocated 8 virtual CPUs and 32 GB RAM as an environment for me to run this application. I don't want to change any of this right now, right? I can always go and change it, but then I don't want to do. Let me simply click on create. Okay. Okay, great. So it's asking me, what is the data source? Where is the data that you would like to work with? Now I can upload it from my local machine. I can select it from some project. So let me say I would like to do something. Let me sort of give it from my .csv. Okay, so I have this let's say this fraud data set that I'd like to upload. Okay, so the moment I give it the data set, it is in the data, and it will come back. See this, I can actually add up to 20 data files over here, right? So it is asking me whether you want to create a time series forecast based upon this data, yes or no. I said no, I do not want to do a time series forecast on this. But then this is really helpful when you're talking about streaming data mostly, right? Then it's really helpful in creating a time series forecast. Now it is asking me, what do you want to predict, right? So see this, these are the various columns available with my data set, right? See this, gender. So it's based, the data that I've given it, it basically is a banking data which has details about bank subscribers, what are the various, what's the income they have, what's the loan amount that they have, what is their credit history, where do they reside, whether they are married or not, do they have any dependents, education, what's the gender, all of that information. So let's say I want to predict whether a particular person is a fraud risk or not, whether, he, for the given loan, whether he would be a fraud risk, or, I can expect this person to be returning the loans on time. Okay. The moment I selected fraud risk, see this, it came back and said, it's good to do a binary classification for this type of prediction. Okay. And it says it should be optimized for accuracy and runtime. Okay. But let's say, no, I'm not happy with the choice that the system is giving me, right? Let me say I want to change it. See, I have the choice of making it a multi-class classification or a regression or a time series forecast or whatever, right? Also, if you scroll down, I can actually specify, what sort of metric do I want to have it? Whether I want to use accuracy, or I want to use area under ROC curve, or a recall value, or a log loss as the metric for doing it. Then I also can, have a optimized algorithm selection, right? For score only or score and runtime, right? Then these are the various algorithms which are already added to it. I can make a case that I don't want a snap random forest classifier, or I don't want a XGB classifier. I only want to use it for a LGBM and a random forest, for example, right? I can do that. Then it is asking me how many best algorithms do I actually want to play with. So you want the top 2 algorithms to be considered, or top 3 algorithms, or top 4 algorithms to be considered when you are actually developing the machine learning model, right? So see, for each machine learning algorithm, it will create 4 pipelines. Okay. Since I opted for 2 top algorithms, it is saying that it will create 8 pipelines. If I say I want to opt for 3 top algorithms, it will create 12 pipelines, and so on and so forth. So let's say I would take 2 top algorithms in order to start working with. Okay, what are the other parameters? Do I want to do a fairness evaluation also with the data that has been provided to calculate bias, whether there is any disparate impact ratio? I can do that as well, right? And then I can mention what will be the favorable outcome, 0 or a 1 for the data that I'm actually trying to work on with fairness. So I'm not going to do this right now, right? Let's go down what all choices I do have. So it is asking me Do I want a filter for dropping duplicate rows? Yes, I can do that, right? If my data set is sufficiently big, I can do a subsampling of the data as well, right? And then how do I, do the data imputation, right? How do I interpolate the missing values, right? So it's saying that I can use one of these approaches, median, mean approaches, to actually do that. Do I use a text feature engineering? Yes or no, right? Also, how many number of vectors per column, right? And then how do I want to split my training data versus holdout data, right? So I can do all of that. These are the data set is 13 features right now, right? Do I want to include all these 13 features, while I'm making a prediction, or do I make only these 12, 20 features while I'm making a prediction, right? So I can do all of that things, from here. Okay. What more? See this, I can have the parameters also, changed in, guys, for doing this, right? So okay, just a moment. Guys, those of you who are having a problem registering on the website, on the IBM Cloud, I'm leaving a link on the chat for you. Please follow this link. You can follow this after this session as well. Okay, it's a GitHub link about how do you do things over here. Anyways, coming back to this, these are my runtime settings about how many iterations do I want to do on my initial model tuning or feature engineering. All of that over here. So I can do all of these changes over here, or I can go back and run it with default settings. So let's say I would do the default and I will just run my experiment for the sake of simplicity. Okay, now let's see what happens. So what I have done so far, I have simply given a data set to the service to analyze. I have not done anything. Okay, what is it going to do? Let's see what it is going to do, right? So this is a typical life cycle of, here, where it will actually read the data set. It will split the holdout data set. It will read the training data, and then it will do the pre-processing on the data. It will do a model selection. In this case, I've asked for top 2 algorithms to be selected. It will, select the top 2 algorithms. In the first pipeline, it will create a first pipeline. In the second pipeline, it will do a hyperparameter optimization. In the third pipeline, it will do a feature engineering. In the fourth pipeline, it will again do a hyperparameter optimization. And it will try to sort of help me understand, right, where is the data actually going for me, right? Okay. So right now it's basically, see this, it's selecting the algorithms, right? And it is creating those, it has selected the top algorithms, and now it's creating the pipeline. See this? And it has already executed the first pipeline using a snap random forest classifier, and it has been able to obtain a 93.3% accuracy with this snap random forest classifier, right? Now it's right now, training the third pipeline, by the way, right? And it has done the hyperparameter optimization on the snap random, but it was not able to get any better accuracy than 93.3 still remains there, right? Now, I have not written a single line of code so far, guys, right? And I'm able to, you are able to see the outcome of various pipelines over here. So this is what is the power of the, the service, right? And I'll show you a lot more things as I go down further with this experiment, right? That is still running. I'm on a home network, so it's taking a bit of a time for me to sort of get the outcomes. Otherwise, it's very quick. So typically, what is happening in the background? Let's try to understand, right? It's doing a data pre-processing where data sets which are having different data formats or some missing values, right? So uh, uh, Auto AI typically applies various algorithms, estimators to analyze, clean, prepare the raw data for machine learning, right? So it is automatically detecting and categorizing various features based on data type, right? Whether it's a categorical data or a numerical data, and based upon the categorization, it uses hyperparameter optimization to determine the best combination of strategies for the missing value imputation, right? So whether you are going to use a median approach or a mean approach, in order to fill that thing, right? So that is strategy for missing value imputation, feature encoding, feature scaling for your data, that particular data that you have done. The second thing that is doing it is automating the model selection the way that we just saw, right? So it enables testing and ranking candidate algorithms again small subsets of data, right? And then it gradually increases the size of the subset for the most promising algorithm to arrive at the best match. That's how it has actually arrived at the best match when you talk about the data. That's how it has been able to pick up a snap random forest classifier and extra trees classifier. Now see the other algorithm. So the two algorithms it picked is a snap random and extra trees. So with the snap random, it has already run all the four algorithms with doing a hyperparameter optimization, feature engineering, and all that. And now it is working on extra trees classifier. Now with extra trees classifier, it was able to obtain 93.4% accuracy, marginally better than SRFC. But with a hyperparameter optimization, feature engineering, it's been able to achieve 93.7% accuracy, right? And it is still working on it, right? So yeah. So what I'm trying to explain is, so that is automated. Once it has done the model selection, the thing it is doing is it's doing a feature engineering, which is nothing but it attempts to transform the raw data into combination of features that best represents the problem, in order to achieve a more accurate prediction. That's what it is doing when it's doing it does a feature engineering. So auto AI actually uses a very unique approach, when it explores various feature construction choices in a structured, non-exhaustive manner. Okay, and in that it actually progressively maximizes the model accuracy using reinforcement learning. That's really very important, and this typically results in an optimized sequence of transformation of the data, which gives the best match for the algorithm and the model selection step there, right? So that's this typical feature automated feature engineering. We also saw that it also did something called as a hyperparameter optimization, right? Now, what is that? Now, hyperparameter optimization, step refines the best performing model pipeline, using an algorithm which is optimized for cost function evaluation, right? Such as model training or scoring, So this really helps in fast convergence of a good solution, right? And the best part is, this is done automatically, right? So it's really help, so see this within less than 4 minutes, I'm able to get a complete outcome over here. With these 8 pipelines, I'm able to obtain 93.8 as the best accuracy using extra trees classifier after hyperparameter optimization, feature engineering, and second hyperparameter optimization, right? So, and the best part is it also gives me a complete pipeline comparison of different, algorithms that it's been working on. So from a researcher's point of view, it's really great that I get all these beautiful infographics. Okay. Now the best part is yet to come, guys. That's something that you'll really cherish. Now, so far, I have not written any single line of code. I have not done any coding here, right? Now, let's say this is this is my baseline. This is where I want to start my work on from. A snap random classifier with whatever it has done to me. It has done. Um, yeah, let's say this one, right? Because I got a 93.8% accuracy here. Now, what I can do is I can actually save it as either a model, a machine learning model, or a notebook. Now, see this. I am just saving it as a notebook over here. Now, I have not written a single line of code for doing this, running the experiment, right? But whatever service the experiment has done, I'm gonna get the entire code, as in form of a notebook, a Jupyter notebook for me, which I can leverage over here. Now I'm just gonna show that to you. It gives me a complete structured code base, like what are the various libraries do I need to install? How do I explain the various data over here? How do I create the connection to the machine learning service which I'm using on IBM Cloud, right? Then how do I actually read the training data? How do I create those pipelines that I was talking to you about? The exact pre-processing and the estimator processes, they're all defined over here. This is where I train my pipeline model. I fit the pipeline model, and I basically run the prediction function over here, right? So see, I have not written a single line of code, but I have been able to actually get the entire code base, which I can now now I can use this code with a different data set also. All I need to change is the data set, right? And since it's a notebook, I can simply run it in maybe IBM Cloud. I'll just show you that you don't have to do anything. Simply press on play, means run, execute, and it'll actually execute all the steps of whether importing the libraries or creating those pipelines, whatever. The entire code base is made available. The other good piece is I could have also exported this as a machine learning model, and I could have published that in my research, in my work, and I could have let other researchers leverage my model with their own data sets. So that way I could have been quoted, people would have quoted my work and cited my this machine learning model that I have actually uploaded over there. Now see this. This is this is right now using which kernel. It's using a Python 3.8, right, which is available over here. And I can run it over here. I'll simply have to sort of run these experiments using a run here, and that's it, right? I can run it cell by cell and I can see the responses of it. So this is one, right? Let me go back. So I'm going back to the experiment which I was working on, and let me go to assets. Let me go to this experiment which we just completed. Okay, and I can now also publish this as a model, as I told you, right? So this can be published like a web service for others to consume my model, which I have actually leveraged, made, and done that. So easy to actually work with this, guys, and this is like a quick way to get it started with learning AI, learning data science. How do you play with various types of services, various types of algorithms? All that is possible within no time. You can do that, all of that over here. So and then what, this is basically only one thing. Remember from add, I'll go back to the project. Okay, and where is that gone? And this was just one service, guys, right? There are so many services available, right, from creating a pipeline to train model, or using a data refinery flow, or using a decision optimization experiment, or if I want to get my hands dirty with deep learning, I can even use that. I can create model from file, or I can import notebooks, or I can do all of that. I can create dashboards without writing any code for that matter, even, right? So all of that is available, which I can live. And this is again going back to IBM Cloud. This is just one of the services there, right? The Watson Studio service. Remember that? And we had 21 services in the machine learning segment available over here. So that's the beauty when you actually start playing with the machine learning services on IBM Cloud. That's what is that you get access to as part of being academic initiative uh, member, registering on this portal. So I'll take a pause here. I am happy to take any questions, guys. Anything that you would like to ask me. Any questions, guys? Anything that you would like me to cover? No questions? Awesome. So if there are no questions, then awesome, wonderful. um, so what I would recommend to you guys is, please come back to academic initiative later on. Get your thing completed, registration completed, and try to pick one of these basic courses from here, right? You can pick this getting started for cloud. This is self-paced. You can do 10 minutes now, you can come back after 2 days, again do half an hour, and you can do it at your own pace, right? As and when you get time, right? And once you complete the course, do remember to claim your badges at on Credly. Earlier it was given through a claim, but now they are made available through Credly to you. Um, Sorry, I am seeing a question, Chetan. Does this course also teaches algorithm? Chetan, this course actually does not teaches you algorithms, but there are other courses which actually can help you teach algorithms also, right? So this is like, as I said, this is getting started, right? Okay, typically if you go to the AI segment, like AI one, see this. So if you go on the AI tab here, the course available, let me show that to you. So you basically do an enterprise grade AI course, which talks about how AI thing is being done. All of that is done. Uh, and then this is where you actually can dig into more using IBM AI education or using IBM Watson Machine Learning Essentials. That's where you actually get more deeper knowledge. You can get more deeper knowledge on what are these machine learning algorithms, what are neural networks, how do you actually leverage them. There are a lot of these contents available around this, right? But how do you actually create some starter application? What is data refinery? What are the various essentials to it? You get all that information that you can learn, right? Sita, of course, uh, as a students, you need to go through the initial grind of learning a particular topic, right? But just to get started, right, it can provide you as a baseline to your learning, right? So that way it expedites the learning curve. It expedites the overall learning curve when you start learning in this approach. And yes, of course, you have to, sort of get into like what are these algorithms? How do you actually make use of it? What is regression? What is reinforcement learning? Where to use classification? Where to use regression? You'll need to have that sort of knowledge over there, right? Before you do that. But this is like a one-stop platform where you can learn multiple things. You can even download AI fairness toolkit, which is something everybody wants to learn today. uh, and then there are so many other resources, like there's a book you can download, Machine Learning for Dummies, right? Absolutely no cost, no charge book. When you go to the AI segment, in the resources tab, you can download this ebook. And you can actually get starter kits as well, that how do you get started with Watson. So there is a starter kit available in order to get you there. So there is a complete community of learners, developers, which you can leverage in order to learn this. Hope this answers your question, Sita. Okay, and Chetan as well. Um, so these courses are absolutely at no cost, guys. For that matter, the entire platform of Academic Initiative is at no cost. All that you need to do is need to have an institutional email ID. That's why it's only open for academia. Nobody else can come and use this platform. It's not available for Gmail, Hotmail. It's not available with corporate email IDs. It's only available to people in academia to leverage for learning, and doing this. Okay. Uh, okay. Any more questions, guys, over here? Anything else you would like to talk about? Okay. What I'll do is I'll leave you here. I don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of stuff in the first go. Maybe we can again do one more session some other time. But what I would want you to is come back on this platform, try to start learning something from here, pick up one of these courses, get started with this, and then also, maybe in some time you can come back before exhausting the month, the free trial month's time. Before exhaustion of that, please come back to this platform again, and get the cloud feature code applied over here, so that your account becomes permanent. Otherwise you will lose access after a month. So please do not allow that to happen. And in case there are any further issues, you can always route them to me through your ma'am, Dr. Neeta, and I'll be more than happy to answer those. Ma'am, I'm handing it over back to you, since they do not have any further questions, right? Because I can keep on talking about this, but okay, it's okay. That service is down, guys, which is responsible for generating of the feature code. I just got an update from my colleague in US who is managing this. There is some issue with the DPL service, which it is being investigated right now. Dr. Neetu?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, I'm giving it back to you, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So in case there are further questions, in case there is some hand holding required, ma'am, we can again do a session.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Maybe they can come back to the cloud portal and they can use the feature code so that they don't lose access to the account sometime later on. Yeah, Sita, some update is happening at the back end, I guess, on the portal. That's why, the services are getting down. So it will be restarted in a while, I think so. You can come back again on this portal. Don't worry.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah.
So can we bind up the session, sir?
Yeah, ma'am, we can wind up the session.
We spend this momentous minute to express our heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest of this evening, Dr. Mani Madhukar sir, for taking out time from his busy schedule and accepting our invitation to be a part of this event. We lend to many future professionals being inspired to the fullest. Also, we would be eternally grateful to the head of the department, Dr. Harikiran Vega sir, and Dr. Shanti ma'am, and Dr. Neela Singh ma'am for organizing an event of this gratitude amidst of the kind presence of our beloved and fulfilled comrades. This evening has been marked as a delightful charm that the enthusiastic participants of our exceptional talent invoked. Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you.
So thank you, sir, Madhukar sir, for your precious time. I think our student get benefited. So thank you very much, sir, for sharing your knowledge with us, and hope so we meet again soon.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So students, let's bind up the session.